YouTube, what's going on? It's Juangottiwft here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here to talk about more breaking news featuring our Commanders. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you in advance. Now, let's get straight into today's video. So, it's crazy that I just finished recording a video talking about these topics, and then as soon as I pick up my phone, more news has came out about the Washington Commanders. So, where do I begin? So, the Washington Commanders earlier today announced that they plan on extending wide receiver Cam Sims. And I was like, yay. That's our big splash, guys. That is our big signing. We're extending wide receiver Cam Sims. Nah, but in all seriousness, congratulations to Cam Sims, man. He's a guy, and he's a free agent that I wanted us to bring back. I feel like he really hasn't reached his full potential here because of the lack of quarterback play. I really think Cam Sims is poised for a breakout year. And a breakout year for Cam Sims is about 400, 500 yards and about 4 or 5 touchdowns. I really think he can be that Michael Williams for us, man. He's 6'5", big body receiver, and we know what he did to Trayvon Diggs last year. We know how big he was in that game versus the Steelers in 2020 that ultimately helped us win and beat the undefeated Steelers at that point in time. Cam Sims has always made spurts each and every time he's out there, but he's never had a consistent showing of his talent because due to the lack of the coaching staff putting him on the field and the lack of the QBs around him, similar to Terry McLaurin and basically all of our skill positions players. They struggle because of the lack of quarterback play. I think this is the first time in his career, because remember, I want to say we've been trying to get this potential out of Cam Sims since 2018. Since 2018, I want to say we've been trying to get this potential out of Cam Sims, and he's never really reached that, not because the talent isn't there, but because of the lack of coaching and the lack of QB play. I mean, we've been trying to get this potential since the Jake Gruden era. You know, in the beginning of it, it was a little bit of his fault, but he was young, developing. But now it's more of him not getting his opportunity. And it's like we always find a way to keep him here, but we never use him as a receiver much. Like, we always find a way to extend him. We tendered him, and then we extended him. We're planning on extending him this year. But we never really use him how we supposed to use him. I mean, he's not a wide receiver 2 by any means. He's a 3, 4, maybe 5. But he's a guy that deserves to be on the field, especially in the red zone. Just throw it up to Cam Sims, let him go up there and get it. He's 6'5" for a reason. And again, Carson Wentz is a guy that loves playing with tall receivers. So I think he's going to benefit well from having Carson Wentz as his quarterback. So shout out to Cam Sims for getting his extension, or at least we're planning on extending him. And that's good for this weapon. This weaponry or this skill position area on this team, and also the special teams. We know how good he is on special teams. He's one of the best special teams players on our team. But yeah, shout out to Cam Sims. Now moving on to the next topic, the Washington Commanders has decided to not only let D-tackle Tim Settle walk and he goes to sign with the Buffalo Bills, but then they we decided to cut defensive tackle Matt Ioannidis. And this is a move that's going to save us up to $7 million in cap space. So, am I mad about the move? No, I'm not mad about the move at all. We can easily replace Tim Settle and Matt Ioannidis in the draft. But it is a little deflating just because we haven't signed nobody. You know, and I knew the Carson Wentz trade was going to put a fork in our plans, but like, we still haven't signed anybody. Like, I'm talking, it could be a low-end guy. We haven't signed nobody besides our own guys. And I mean, that's probably what we're going to do. But again, it's just a little deflating that you see everybody else signing these players and we're not doing nothing but releasing ours or extending ours. So yeah, we're deciding to move on from Matt Ioannidis. He had struggled the past 2 years. Before those 2 years he struggled, he did put up, I want to say, about 14 sacks, and he was on his way to getting a Pro Bowl invite, or at least recognized for his talent at the Pro Bowl before these past 2 seasons where he was just absent. In 2020, got hurt in Week 4 versus the Browns, missed the rest of the year, and then 2021 when he came back, he was basically there, but he wasn't there. He was there, but he wasn't making no noise. And you remember at a point in time, Ioannidis was our best pass rushing defensive tackle or interior D lineman. And again, he was not there last year. So again, me or us moving on from Ioannidis, I'm not mad about. Clears up $7 million in cap space. And we can easily find one of his replacement in the later rounds of the draft, 5th, maybe 6th round or something like that. I think that's where we got Tim Settle in like the 5th round or something like that from VTech a while back. So that is not frustrating at all. The frustrating part is that we're not signing nobody. But again, what did we expect? Once our cap space went from up here to down here after the Carson Wentz trade, we already knew what time it was. We're not making no big splashes. You know, but let me pick up my phone here just so I don't miss anything, because we are dropping a lot of news back to back. Let's make sure nothing else has happened so far. Okay, we're good. But yeah, so we're moving on from Ioannidis clearing up $7 million in cap space. Then you move on to another breaking news story that the Washington Commanders and Landon Collins is still here. Landon Collins is technically still on the roster. He has not been released yet, and that is because Washington plans on making him a post-June 1 cut that could save this team up to $12 million in cap space. So, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, cool. You can save up to $12 million in cap space, but why? Like, not why, but like, what are you going to do by June 1st unless you're clearing up space to trade for a big player before the season starts? Because in June 1st, what do you need that much more cap space for? There's no good free agents left. I mean, unless you plan on keeping it for the 2023 season, but who wants to wait that long? Nobody wants to wait that long, 2023 free agency. I mean, I guess so, but I personally would just let them go now, because we're at the point where it's just like, not that we need all the money we can, but again, what are you going to be doing post-June 1 besides getting ready for the season? And again, like I said, you could either be clearing out space for a big trade right before the season, or you could be saving that money for the 2023 free agency class, and who wants to wait that long? All seriousness. So yeah, man, that is what you have with Landon Collins. They plan on making him a post-June 1 cut. So as of right now, he is going to be on the roster. But we know he is not going to be playing for us next year. Then, news just came out 8 minutes ago. The Washington Commanders are releasing, or has released, the left guard Ereck Flowers. Now, this is the one that pissed me off. This is the one that pissed me off. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to be honest. Ereck Flowers was our best lineman last year. Most consistent lineman last year, and most healthiest lineman last year. But let's read on why, I guess. Flowers was easily the best player on the O-line last year. This makes no sense whatsoever. I'm officially questioning everything Ron is doing at this point. This is per Commanders 365. Go follow him. All the other ones, I'm like, okay, I see why. This one, why? Just why? Why, bro? Literally our best lineman last year. Hellman Charles Leno was holding down that left side. Now, and this doesn't make sense, but the only way I could see us possibly filling this is either you draft somebody or you really think Sadiq Charles is ready to hold down that left guard spot. Because now with him out and Brandon Sheriff out, your line looks like, as of right now, Charles Leno, Sadiq Charles, Chase Roulier, Wes Schweitzer, Sam Cosmi. Which doesn't sound too bad, right? But look at the depth we're tapping into. Sadiq Charles is supposed to be a backup. Wes Schweitzer was supposed to be a backup. Now they're thrusted into that starting role as of right now. This is before the draft. This is before free agency finished. We can go out and sign another player, but this doesn't make no sense right now. Again, all the other moves, I'm like, okay, I get it. But like this one, what's up, Ron? What's up? Like, what are you doing? Washington is also releasing left guard Ereck Flowers per Adam Schefter. Bit of a surprise here. Saved $10 million in cap space. Again, with all these saving and cap space moves, I swear this better be for a big signing. This better be for Jarvis Landry. This better be for something big or something. Because it makes no sense to be cutting all these players and we're not going to do nothing with it. Like, are we really that broke? I gotta actually look at the cap space, and it's gonna change now that we making all these cuts. But before these cuts, I want to know what our cap space is looking like. Cause are we really that broke? This doesn't make sense to me. This one right here. Again, it better be for a big signing. Cause if we doing this just to save cap and don't do nothing with it, I think it's time to officially question Ron Rivera. But yeah, man, there you have it. As always, it's me and boy Juangotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Let me know how you guys feel about this video down below in the comment section. A bunch of news to unpack here. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's me and boy Juangotti. I'm out. Peace. What are we doing, bro?